Rats everywhere. Right where it cuts. Check out that rubber scrap. The inputters need to be linked to boot the mind monitor. It's mind over matter, software over hardware. Success is peace of mind. Go on, catch it. Netted a nono. Every day comes with a new chance to save the world. You can make so many amazing things out of wood scrap. Welcome to Camp Aco. The bandits here won't greet you so kindly. So much damage. You're feeling mighty low. Blasting it. Hits. De-accessed. That made it all worth it. Stories only survive if someone is listening, so pay attention. Looking for treasure. This one seems...
Getting brighter. Can't.
That was only...
I have a shop full of shattered mirrors that says you're wrong.
Up, down, all around. Glad to see some wood scrap there. Go on, catch it. That's a proper junk depot. Just think of the things chucked away. Better to be on top of a mount than standing behind it. Better get moving before the day passes you by. See that e-waste? You could use that for sure. That's some sharp wood scrap there. Watch for splinters. Go on, catch it. That's not too bad. Hey, a mount has no gears to grind. Tippy tapper. At least you got something for your trouble. You found Boulder Broke. Toxanol used this place to make big rocks into small ones. They just ground everything down. It's shockingly dark out there. There it is, the Tree of Life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. The Yerp Fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find, except for where that's not true. Best part of this ride is it runs on green stuff. Ah, that wood scrap seems like it would be perfect for your plans. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. It's important to stay grounded. You share the same fate as the tree. Out of Date says there's a time for everything, and now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So, he's prepared for the worst. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as Ki energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. Lupa-Lupin is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there.
Befarbihita, hun tukub kirko.
Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry.
Befarbihita, hun tukub kirko. Ya moluvando.
He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. Lupa-Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains.
Tohuaye, kuzata, ghetto.
Out-of-Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there.
Tika maperna.
He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror.
Maotoliawahu, ya moluvando.
You should get over there, come face to face with destiny.
Yowotulua.
He wonders what's on your mind.
Kim hobe bekuku, ifa. Ar muk.
Lupa-Lupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Lupa-Lupin's camp. Mush mush? Lupa-Lupin says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupa-Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. When a story comes to you, pay attention. You're going to maul your foes with this. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy.
Yo le ya yato. ka nuka nuburak.
He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east.
Honto kontue pon yevun koja.
Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko.
Atu awa ya ea ka nuka nuburak.
He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped.
Far kobe mako to far titaba.
Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World Eater is stepping up its activity.
Kan tita dwela bofo yuba tolu wawa.
He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World Eater, but needs help to get it prepared.
Tolua lu toluka.
Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help.
Weta gono.
He's happy to help.
Tuluya uto lula.
Says your mother was the best of all. She was a leader in every way, and you might be too.
Weta go tulua ba volu. Papa mofubak.
Says you'll... Good to be able to get stuff done while the world is awake.